Heritage Sports. What's up, y'all? Today, ESPN put out the Coach Prime effect inside Deion Sanders' first 100 days at Colorado. Coach Prime has already taken Colorado to uncharted territory with a social media buzz that has famous alums scrambling for tickets. Now, they put out a big long ass article about his first 100 days. I'm going to sum it up for you, but I want to tell you the key points. First of all, I did this video like a month ago, 2 months ago. Y'all see it on the screen. Just talking about the prime effect and what's going to happen. They've done an update to it. So I'm just going to give you the most interesting parts first, and then I'll summarize it, and that'll be it. So I'm really just trying to help y'all. All right, so if you first go to the most interesting part, they gave an update on the current numbers that Deion is doing. Coach Prime is just knocking it out the park for Colorado, and maybe Fox News wasn't, well, not Fox News, whatever, Fox Sports wasn't bullshitting. Like, he could generate like hundreds of millions of dollars for Colorado, and it's actually happening. So the first thing that came to mind that just jumped out of the article was, of course, the tickets. So they used to do free spring tickets for spring games. When I played in college, our spring game was free. This is the first time spring game tickets were being sold. And for the first time, like that's crazy. So now this man has come, changed the whole thing, whole dynamic. Everybody wants to be here. We're gonna sell these spring tickets, and ESPN caught notice, and now it's gonna be the only university on their flagship channel for the spring game. All right. So that's money right there. That money unexpected. So now the season ticket renewal rate stands at 97%, which is the best in school history. So school history record, 97% season ticket renewal. So that's insane. Then the expects to sell out of season tickets this month, and it outpaces the 2017 season, and that only came after Coach Mike McIntyre was named Coach of the Year. So the luxury suites are sold out, and this is funny. Jeremy Bloom, who's like Colorado Buffalo, like royalty, the 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 brother was out there sledding. He's one of the best ever. Was very well known for that. Wanted to play football, went to the Buffs, and he's the only athlete to have skied in the Olympics and been drafted in the NFL. He could not procure um, a luxury suite. So that's crazy. That's just insane. They are giving they they are selling out, and it's because a lot to do with Coach Prime. All right, so let me give you the other interesting stuff. Colorado has fielded inquiries from roughly 20,000 people for season tickets and will sell tickets to the spring game, like I told you all. And right now, they're at 39,000 tickets sold for the spring game. Now, I think they were selling it at $10 a pop, 39,000 times 10. You can do the math. That's a nice little piece of change, especially when they're putting out more free content. And remember, it's not even free. It's content that's monetized on these channels, so they're getting even more money. Now, the crowd's going to be roughly double the highest ever attended spring game in school history. The highest one was 17,800 in 2008. So, yeah, no. 17,000, double that. That's almost over. Actually, that's over double at 39 tickets sold, and they're at 50,000 capacity. That can actually sell out. So, again, it's going to televise it. Their Colorado spring game is going to be televised on ESPN on April 22nd. April 22nd, 2023. And this is a good little quip. They said the sales team can't even make an outgoing call. They don't have to make calls. The calls are coming in and they're making sales when they pick up the phone. Now, during the first 2 months of 2023, Colorado ranked number 2 among college team stores on the Fanatics platform behind only Georgia. Sales of Colorado gear in December were up 505% over the same month in 2022. Yo, 505% is a freaking lot. Now, of course, you go to the social media. Before Coach Prime's hiring was announced, their Facebook, Twitter, Colorado, talking about their social media platforms, their Twitter, their Instagram, TikTok, all of that combined was only at 226,000 followers. All right. If you want me to round up, I can. It's 227,000 followers before he was hired. And that's all of their platforms, all of them. So whatever the football team handle is, the basketball handle is, the CFU Buffs handle, the university handle by itself, all of those combined, we're at 227,000 followers. Now that number is over 1 million and continue to climb because it hasn't even started in the fall just yet. So if they really, really start to win, they're going to say the prime effect is real. I mean, the prime effect is real right now, but they're going to say, no, this is all due to what's going on right here and right now. So it's a really, really interesting thing. This man is bringing so much revenue to the state of Colorado, so much revenue to the University of Colorado, and he's transforming the football landscape. I have no idea why other colleges have not tried to hire him just yet. I really don't. It's beyond me. Anyway, let me get to some of the other interesting stuff in here. He talked about why he went to Colorado. And this is the first time he said this, and I kind of had this thought process. So let me bring it out before I read the quote. Coach Prime, to me, did not go to any other program. Like, it was rumored to go to Cincinnati, which was really right there. They can take a few more steps and easily be in the college football playoff. He could have went to University of South Florida. He was in the mix for TCU and different programs. The reason why I don't think it ultimately panned out or he declined those offers is because he needs to have his own culture and he wants to implement his own culture. He kind of talked about that at Jackson State. He needs to be able to come in and make unmitigated changes the way he sees it at his Hall of Fame level to be in order to win, to get there to actually perform. And you see that. He wants to go to a place where it's completely gutted. It's almost like real estate. You want to find a horrible home, you want to renovate it, flip it, put it back on the market. That's basically what his coaching and transformation style is. That's what gets him up out of bed in the morning. That's what I feel when I feel that he went to Colorado, because they went 1-11 the year before he got there. So it's completely changed. And the reason why I'm saying that is if he went to a program that's 7-5 or 8-4 or something like that, there's going to be so much resistance to what he wants, because they're going to be like, well, coach, we won last year. We're winning. Let's not break what's working. Let's not fix what doesn't need to be fixed. So people are going to hold on to good before they go to get great. I hope that makes sense. If we're 7-5, we're 8-4, we want to keep winning at this pace, and that's good. We want to hold on to good and build off of good. When he's like, nah, we got to break from that shit and go to great. And the only way you can do that is if the team sucks. You go to a 1-11 team, they're not gonna hold on to bad. They're not gonna hold on to mediocre, because that's ridiculous. That's against human nature. I'm gonna want better. So if we want to go from crap to great, that's the situation that Deion likes. And I thought about that maybe a few weeks ago. And now here's his quote. Colorado bottoming out, though, helped create an unlikely union. Quote, Coach Prime said, I'm a need to be needed type person. If you show me a need, then I'm there. But if there's no need, I don't really have a place. That's what I do. That's what I've done. I've always been that type of guy. There's a tremendous need at Colorado, and I don't just think it's all about football. It far surpasses football on the field. End quote. And I think you've seen that tremendously already. First of all, Colorado has had a great track record hiring diversity head coaches for the football team, but the personnel that you can see him come in and out, and he's actually put it on wax. He had a meeting with the social media team that they put out there. He's like, we need some diversity up in here. This isn't, and we're talking about the university social media team. It's not just focused on the football, it's just the whole university social media team. You're like, no, we need diversity in this meeting. That's the kind of stuff he's talking about. Oh no, I'm not just gonna stop at doing the football stuff. We're gonna actually bring shine and light and have more room for inclusion. So I thought that was super powerful and really confirmed my thoughts that I just spelled out. I felt like if Colorado was 7-5, 8-4 the year before, I don't think he would have went there. Maybe he would have went somewhere else that needed to be more of a project. Again, nobody's going to question his his way of doing things because it's a completely new method. You can't be 1-11 saying, "Nah, we need to do it like we did last year." Nah, we gonna do everything opposite of last year. Completely opposite. All right, the rest of the article is just to me a bunch of Colorado history about the former coaches that used to work for the program or work for the program in the past. Talking about Deion's visibility around the city, Coach Prime's visibility around Boulder and the Colorado area because they didn't have that kind of visibility from the prior coaches. They listed the good parts, the bad parts of the prior coaches, and to me, they didn't do Mel Tucker a good service. They mentioned him once, but he was talented and he was only there for a season, and I get that. And maybe they're kind of worried about the same thing repeating itself. Mel Tucker, as you know, did 1 year at Colorado, and then he went to Michigan State, and he's been there ever since and been doing an all right job. He has to keep winning to stay there, but that's what ended up happening. So I think there's a little bit of reading between the lines in this article from the Colorado side, like the fans and the former coaches and the staff kind of a vibe of they didn't want to mention Mel Tucker because of what happened. And they could be worried that that could happen as well with Colorado because if Coach Prime takes 1-11 and completely transforms that place to what he did at Jackson State, I mean, you can't tell me the SEC is not going to be at his door. You can't tell me another big program, a legacy program, is not going to be at his door if they have an opening. So I can understand their fear about that. All right, and then after that, they just talk about his recruiting, which has been well covered, and let's see, how Colorado's cool again because people are starting to wear their merch all around the country because it's cool. People are wearing it or getting orders from New York and Florida and stuff like that. And it didn't have that type of stuff since the Cordell Stewart days or when Eric Bieniemy was running. That type of stuff when they won the national championship. They did not have that type of that national love since then. And they talked about, Coach Prime's lack of coaching experience. And unfortunately, they did bring up Coach Prime, Prime Prep. They did bring that up. I told you all, you can go and Google that. It was quite a situation up here in the DFW area of how it eventually went down. He moved on from that, went to another high school. Then he, got the offer at Jackson State. But to his credit, it's unbelievable. Even with all that happening before he was even hired at Jackson State, he interviewed at Florida State in Arkansas. I did not know that. How did Arkansas sit down with him? I don't know if that was a Jerry Jones hookup. Jerry Jones runs Arkansas. He's one of the most famous alums from there and runs that program. He could have said, "Hey, you need to go talk to Prime," and he probably shitting on whoever the people were that didn't want to hire him. Look what he doing. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, Coach Prime was out at the Super Bowl, and him and Jerry Jones were cutting, just passing by. They shook hands or whatever. And Jerry Jones was like, "Hey man, let's find some time to talk." And I always wondered, I'm pretty sure they tight, you know what I mean? But let's find time to sit down and talk. Arkansas ain't where it should be. Arkansas had a hell of a year with their coach. He's a really, really good coach, but they underachieved and they barely won their bowl game. So I'm kind of curious. I wonder what you need to talk about, Jerry. So my point is, I didn't even know Arkansas had ever interviewed Coach Prime. That was news to me reading that article. So, and that was before he got hired at Jackson State, and I was like, dang. So, so Jerry Jones had to hook up at Arkansas, and then all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, he's like, hey man, let's chat a bit. Could have been chatting about Arkansas, but we'll see how time goes. Especially if Arkansas doesn't do well and their coach underachieves again and he's on a hot seat. I'm kind of curious who they gonna sit down and talk with. But another story for another day. Y'all enjoy. I've been talking way too long. My bad, y'all. That I summarized the article, told you what I thought was interesting, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all, Heritage Sports.